A devil up in here today. How much more do you want God to do before you decide to straighten up your life? Many more chances do you want God to give you before you decide for God I live or for God I die? And stop telling that lie that everybody's doing something. Everybody ain't shucking. Everybody ain't jiving. There's some folk that made a commitment to the Lord that come hell or high water, I'm going to follow Jesus. Somebody shout all the way. Don't you look around Calvary trying to figure out who's doing what. Everybody doing something. Everybody got some dirt. That devil is a liar. Because there's some people that made a commitment to God and put their hand to the plow and have not looked back. They don't regret giving it up. They don't regret turning it loose. They don't regret letting it go, because every day with Jesus is sweeter than the day before. I wish I could get a little help in here. God has given you seed time and harvest. God has allowed you to reap good. God has blessed you with the pleasures of life, but yet we are not saved. Look at your own self, and the fact that you're here says to me, God's been good to you. I don't care who upset you, and I don't care who you're mad with, and I don't care about the changes you're going through and what got you depressed at the moment. It is a fact that at this moment, God's been good to you because you're still here. Somebody praise him because you're still here. Somebody thank him because you're still alive. Let's give him I'm still alive praise. I'm still alive praise. The people in the text had been carried away and they were hopeless. They were people of exile. They had been carried away captive, and now they had been captured by the enemy. And listen, and by now Jeremiah is saying you should have been rescued, you should have been saved, you should have been delivered, but you're still bound. And when God told me to bring this message to you today, he said some of you listening to me by now should have been saved, by now should have been rescued, by now should have been delivered. You should not be dealing with the same things this year, this time, that you were dealing with last year this time, because God is a God of higher heights and deeper depths. And you look at somebody and tell them you should be over that by now. Too many issues, same issues, which make me think you don't really want to be out of those issues. Because anything you really want to get out of, you can get. If you not if you really want to, baby. I say you do what you want to do because you want to. And I don't care how much you think you need it, you do it because you want to. But don't know. Oh, I give you an example. How many know we all need money? Who in here don't need no money? Everybody need money. Anybody like me need it bad? But I don't need it so bad I'm going to go rob a bank. I said I don't need money so bad that I'm going to put on a mask and go rob a bank, because I know what to do and what not to do. And I don't care what needs you have, you still have a control over your will, and nobody forces you to do anything. And I declare once again, if you live right, God will supply all of your needs. And if you really live right, you don't have to beg, borrow, steal, cheat, trick, Slow me down, Lord. They were carried away captive. And by this time, they shouldn't be bound. Ask somebody beside you, what's binding you now? Cramping your style. Killing your joy. I'm not talking about singing and shouting. I'm talking about joy. I'm not talking about running around the church and jumping up and down and talking in tongues. I'm talking about joy. Because a whole lot of folk dancing and jumping ain't got no joy. Because joy is something on the inside of you. By now, you should have been rescued from something. Delivered from something. You want to have a few trophies, a few citations that said, that don't bother me. How do you keep falling for the same thing over and over again, knowing it was designed to destroy you? Because once you come in here and get to praising God and magnifying God, the devil's going to try to make you take every praise back that you gave to God, and by any means necessary will he try to trip you up and destroy you, because he comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Slow me down, Lord. Harvest passed. Some ended. How many more sermons do you need? How many more workshops do you need? How many more revivals do you need? We had from T.D. Jakes all the way down to DeJohn Hansham. What more do you need? The word has been rich, and the word comes to break up the fallow ground. How much more preaching do we have to give to you before you decide, I want to live right? There's some stuff that you should not be doing now. Since you say you've been saved, I can put up with it when you were a baby Christian. But by now, as long as you've been saying you're saved, you shouldn't be committing adultery. You shouldn't be like the church of Corinth, filled full of fornication. Look at somebody and tell them, not now, not now, not now. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. But God is not going to knock you upside your head. You got to know it and then walk in what you know. Not now. You may have had an excuse then. But God allows you to stumble into a church like this. So even when you're sitting way in the back or way up there, you still get to hear the truth. So that when you stand before God, you can't say nobody told me. You may only come one time, but the time you hear, God sets it up so you will have no excuse. Shake somebody's hand and tell them, we have no excuse, we have no excuse. So every now and then, I can't be David. Lord is my shepherd, shall I want. Lift up my eyes to the hills. I can't be the psalmist. Every now and then I've got to be Jeremiah and tell you the harvest is past. The summer's ended. And you ought to be saved by now. You ought to be able to stand on your own 2 feet by now and look that devil in the eye and say, Satan, your key don't fit my lock no more. And say it with authority. You stumbled me up last year, but I got a foot on you this year.